This is ABC7 News at 5. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Haley Wilkes.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. Our top story, the Atlanta Braves on the Suncoast. For the first time, executives with the team are in Sarasota County discussing plans to move the team's spring training to Northport.
Braves executives say South County is the perfect fit for the team. ABC7's Dwayne Lindo is joining us now live with where the deal stands. Dwayne.
Well, Haley, with the addition of the Braves, this makes the Suncoast a big player where spring training is concerned. We have the Pirates up in Bradenton, the Rays down in Port Charlotte, and here at Ed Smith Stadium, the Orioles play. So Braves executives say with this move, it will cut travel time down in half for their players.
Lakewood Ranch graduate Brad Zuniga, now a member of the San Diego Padres organization, says the Braves moving to Sarasota County makes for a perfect fit.
They're a pretty historic franchise. They got some background in the South area, so it'll be good.
Zuniga now plays in Arizona's Cactus League, where average travel time is no more than 30 minutes.
They obviously want us to get to the point where we're maximizing our time on the field just to be the best that we can be.
Which is why the Braves chose Northport, where there are 5 other teams within a 50-mile radius. Executives from the Braves joined the Sarasota County Commission meeting Tuesday to discuss their primary reason for wanting to move.
They would be spending far more hours on buses and fewer hours on the playing fields, honing their skills.
The complex will include 750 parking spaces and luxury suites. In exchange, the team must commit to sign a 30-year lease with annual payments to cover the stadium's debt. West Villages agreed to donate the land and oversee the project's construction. The state will hopefully contribute $20 million from its spring training retention fund as well. The team optimistic about closing this deal soon.
Based on the conversations we've had, the interaction we've had with the county, with Mattamy, with all of the constituents in our deal, we feel very confident that we're going to get this done quickly and properly and spend the next glorious 30 years here in Sarasota County.
The Braves had the 3rd largest attendance in all of spring training last year in Orlando and are confident about filling the 6,500-seat stadium in Northport for years to come.
They come to spring training in record numbers every year, and we expect that'll continue for the next 2 years, our remaining 2 years at the Disney complex. But when we open up here, there'll be people buying tickets many years before we're open and ready to come down here and watch their Braves.
Negotiations between all parties, including Northport, have been ongoing. And from the county standpoint, funding will come from tourist development dollars.
That will be primarily paid by those people who are visiting our community, staying in our local hotels. So local residents will not see any ad valorem tax increases as a part of this deal.
And once negotiations are wrapped up, the county will have a better idea of their groundbreaking and other ideas. Reporting live at Ed Smith Stadium, Dwayne Lindo, your Suncoast News.
All right, Dwayne, thank you. A follow-up now on the arrest of a now former Sarasota County Sheriff's deputy accused of abusing an elderly woman. People who live in the Village Green neighborhood of Sarasota, where the victim lives, are shocked over what happened. Frank Bybee, an 18-year veteran with the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office, is accused of stealing tens of thousands of dollars from the woman and then trying to kill her after becoming friends with her. Bybee is facing many charges, including attempted murder.
It's kind of disturbing that you'd think that somebody would come in here and try to take advantage of people.
Every neighborhood has something that's going to happen, so no, I'm not shaken to the core or anything like that.
The victim did receive a little bit of bright news on Monday. Her dog, JJ, was located and returned to the victim.
The search for a man suspected of shooting and killing another man in Palmetto is now over. Manatee County Sheriff's deputies arrested 24-year-old Terry McDonald this morning. He's charged with second-degree murder. Deputies say McDonald fatally shot Robert Brewer last Friday on 1st Avenue East. McDonald has been arrested on multiple drug offenses over the past year.
Suncoast Congressman Vern Buchanan is hopeful a new office in China will make a dent in the deadly opioid epidemic plaguing the Suncoast. The Drug Enforcement Administration, or the DEA, plans to open a new office in the city of Guangzhou and will likely be staffed with 2 special agents. According to Buchanan, China is the primary source for fentanyl and other synthetic drugs coming into America. Fentanyl is similar to heroin but 50 times more powerful. Buchanan is also co-sponsoring legislation that requires increased screening at U.S. Postal Service facilities.
Lawmakers in Tallahassee are looking at ways to keep young offenders out of the criminal justice system. A Senate proposal with the goal passed its first committee this week, despite concerns from some Republicans and law enforcement officials. Supporters say programs that issue civil citations to young offenders or otherwise send them to pre-trial diversion programs can save money and help young people avoid being marked for the rest of their lives for that offense. Children in diversion programs are required to do community service and receive counseling, substance abuse help, and other interventions.
If we don't change this law, if we do not make the civil citation program uniform and mandatory across the state, we're robbing these kids of their future.
This bill would require counties to have programs in place, and law enforcement officers would have to issue citations if juveniles commit a non-violent misdemeanor for the first time. They would also issue citations for other misdemeanors or for second or third offenses.
India tribesmen are now helping Florida with its ongoing hunt for Burmese pythons. Irula tribesmen are well known in southern India for their snake catching skills. Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission hopes they'll reveal something that has long eluded researchers, a reliable way to track and spot the snakes that all but disappear in the Everglades. The state hopes these tribesmen can teach people in Florida some of their skills. They've already removed 13 pythons in just the past week. So it sounds like they're pretty good at it.
Yeah, and that's a big process. I mean, there's a lot to remove.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. Pretty nice day here on the Suncoast.
Nice.
I don't think it gets much better than a day like today. I think we deserved it after some stormy days. Bob?
That's right. Some stormy days and rough seas, too. Tough boating conditions over the past 48 hours, but things are changing. This is a KCK webcam. Get a look at the waves. Still pretty high out there. Surfers are digging it, but it hasn't been the best as far as boating is concerned. Those waves are starting to calm down. The advisories have been lifted now, although we still have a rip current advisory in effect until 7 o'clock tonight. And surprisingly, this is Severe Weather Awareness Week, and today's topic, marine hazards, one of those being rip currents, which is a very dangerous situation. We'll talk more about that later. Currently, we have sunshine. Temperature's cooled a little bit. 69 degrees. It's gone down 1 degree since this past hour. The dew point is at 56. That's fairly low. It's going to be a comfortable night. Winds out of the north-northwest at 8, and the pressure starting to rise, 2993 after some pretty low readings over the past 2 days as well. Well, that area of low pressure now a nor'easter is causing all sorts of problems to the north of us, but high pressure, sinking air dominating much of the southeast now with clear skies. But this area of low pressure continues to be a big problem. The story is, though, this is mainly rainfall now from New York all the way up to Boston. If it were a little bit colder, obviously they'd be dealing with about a foot of snow throughout this region, but right now it's freezing rain into Vermont, New Hampshire, and up into Maine. Behind it, some colder air is bringing some snowfall to upstate New York and to central Pennsylvania. Currently here, no snow, just beautiful weather. 69 degrees in Sarasota, the same in Jacksonville, 72 now. Into Orlando, 79 in Miami, and temperatures around our area, all in the upper 60s right near the coast, just a little bit warmer away from the water. Temperature, which is now at 70 degrees, but into the low to mid 70s well inland. More in the forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Thank you, Bob. The town of Longboat Key is moving ahead with a plan to build a new center for the arts, culture, and education. The town commission voting to buy 2 acres of land as part of a $2.2 million deal. The lot includes the Amore restaurant on Bay Isles Parkway and surrounding space. Commissioners have not yet decided if the restaurant will be torn down, but they plan to build an arts center and possibly a small amphitheater. Longboat Key is working with the Ringling College of Art and Design on this project. Construction on the center is expected to be complete within the next 2 years.
I bet it will be a popular addition.
Yes, it will.
Longboat Key. ABC7 business commentator Richard Stern joins us now. And Richard, happy days are here again, huh?
Scott, you got it exactly right. 2 of the 3 indices we follow on a regular basis, the NASDAQ and the Standard & Poor's 500 index, both closed at record highs, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average, well, not a record high, had a triple-digit gain and is back again above 19,900. So could 20,000 be too far away? Well, we're going to have to see. The Dow was up by 150 points at the high of the day. Didn't close that high, but a darn good gain nonetheless. Let's take a look at the figures. There you see the Dow was up almost 113 points, not quite 0.6%, closing at 19,912.71. That on volume of 688 million shares. The NASDAQ, and there's a record 5,600. 5,600.96, up 48 points, more than 0.8%. That on volume of 1,602 million shares. And the S&P, a record as well, up 15 points, 2/3%, closing at 2,280.07. Shares of Kimberly-Clark were up by more than 4% today after the company announced fourth quarter earnings that were well ahead of Wall Street expectations. I think you know Kimberly-Clark. They make Kleenex, they make Huggies, they make baby wipes, lots of things that all of us use every day. The company said that earnings were not only were strong, they're increasing their dividend by 5%. So those of you who buy stocks for dividends, maybe see a dividend increase. You certainly saw one today. And Kimberly-Clark has been just a very strong company for a long time. Nice to see them continue to do so very, very well.
Those staples that, like you said, we all use. And Richard, news on Verizon.
Yes, troubling news on Verizon. Frankly, their earnings were just the reverse, not as good as expected. Their shares were down by almost 4.5%. And of course, they've had some of their senior executives that did retire at the end of December, have not been able to really replace them sufficiently at this point. And I think they'll turn things around, but a tough day today.
All right, Richard, thank you so much for the update.
You're very welcome.
Still to come tonight in your Suncoast News, the standard 8 hours may not be so necessary. How you can train your body to need less sleep.
And ABC7 Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your full weather forecast. Plus, a musical sweep. La La Land racks up nomination after nomination. Who else is up for an Academy Award? Straight ahead.
ABC7 My Suncoast News. We're here for you. Watch My Suncoast News wherever you are. On our live stream, on our newly redesigned MySuncoast.com, and a brand new ABC7 My Suncoast app, powered by the Eye Associates, providing sight for life, featuring traffic maps and live radar, and dining with recipes and all the hottest Suncoast restaurants. Visit MySuncoast.com and click on the mobile tab to download the ABC7 My Suncoast app for iOS and Android.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 1-800-764-8708. That's 1-800-764-8708.
Get the new year off to a great start with safety and peace of mind. Subaru was named the 2016 Best Overall Brand, Most Trusted, and Best Performance Brand by Kelley Blue Book. And ALG named Subaru its top mainstream brand for residual value for 2016. Now you can lease a new Subaru Outback for just $229 a month or get 0% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
I am an originalist.
The nominations are in for the 89th Academy Awards, and one of the favorites picked up 14 nominations.
Only 2 other films have ever garnered that many nominations. ABC's Kenneth Moten shows us which films and which actors got the top nods.
And the Oscar goes to... Hollywood's biggest night is just weeks away, and the Oscar nominees are...
Casey Affleck in Manchester by the Sea.
Andrew Garfield in Hacksaw Ridge.
The 89th Academy Awards mixing it up, announcing the early morning Oscar nods online only, getting some help from past nominees and winners. Also nominated for leading actor, Ryan Gosling in La La Land, Viggo Mortensen for Captain Fantastic, and Denzel Washington in Fences.
And the nominees for lead actress are
Isabelle Huppert for Elle, Ruth Negga, Loving, Natalie Portman in Jackie, Emma Stone, La La Land, and acting pro Meryl Streep for her role in Florence Foster Jenkins. Supporting actress Viola Davis, Nicole Kidman, Octavia Spencer, Michelle Williams, and Naomi Harris, who told GMA her brother broke the news about her nomination.
He was screaming, and then I was screaming.
For supporting actor, Mahershala Ali getting his first Oscar nomination for Moonlight. Also, Jeff Bridges, Lucas Hedges, Dev Patel, and Michael Shannon. And no surprise, the top 2016 films are in the race for Best Picture.
What happened to my brother?
Manchester by the Sea, Fences, and Hidden Figures all nominated. But the film to beat, La La Land, leading with 14 Oscar nominations. The social media hashtag #OscarsSoWhite may be a thing of the past after the Academy made big changes last year, inviting more minorities and women. It's one of the most diverse lists of nominees. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Okay, a lot of good ones and a lot I still have to see.
You're right.
Bob said he's waiting till retirement to see all that. He's
all
just
of them
stacking
for
up
years.
all.
That's right. I have not seen Best Picture in a long time. Best Picture right here along the Sun Coast is sunshine and mild conditions, and we have that, and it looks like it's going to stay that way for just a little while, and then another change is on the way. So we're in kind of a progressive pattern now with fronts coming down. Here's a look at one of those photos. Speaking of picture, this one beautiful from our good friend Norm Schimmel. Again, getting this from the beautiful bay right there. He's excited about baseball starting pretty soon here along the Sun Coast, as a lot of folks are for the spring games. And I'll tell you what, here's what we got. Weather headlines read like this: cold front late Thursday, and that's going to bring us a chance for showers. We'll start to see an increase in cloudiness beginning on Thursday, and then a cooler weekend ahead. So temperatures will finally get down below average both on Saturday and Sunday. So we're talking highs in the mid-60s as opposed to the low 80s that we've seen last week. And showers, though, will be in the forecast on Sunday mainly. There's a chance for a few showers late Saturday, but Sunday is the best chance for rain right now. Here's the Titan radar picture, and this looks like rain, doesn't it? And we have some returns right here moving to the southeast. Well, you take a look at that. That's actually military exercises going on into the Gulf of Mexico, and this is known as military chaff, and you can see that pushing off to the east. They do these exercises to figure out how to disguise the ships and planes from the radar, and that's what they're doing with this right now. It's moving to the southeast. I know that because you can actually go to the satellite imagery, and there's no clouds out there that would indicate that kind of rainfall. So there's no rain out there. Again, as I said, the military exercise is taking place right there, showing up on the radar screen. Currently, we have clear skies and 69 degrees. The dew point temperature comfortable, 56. Winds are out of the north-northwest at 8, and the pressure 29.93 inches. That continues to rise. Temperatures around some of the key areas here along the west coast of Florida. Holmes Beach at 67, a couple degrees warmer in Parrish. Waterleaf at 69 as well, and Rosedale. 70 at Lake Sarasota, Laurel Oak the same, and 69 at Siesta Key. So temperatures all pretty much uniform up and down the coast, upper 60s, low 70s, a little bit warmer if you press inland into DeSoto, Hardee, and Highlands counties. Well, the forecast tonight looks comfortable. Temperatures will drop down into the mid-50s, still slightly above average, but not bad. 55 degrees with a low humidity around. And I mentioned the dew point temperature was right around 56, and that means we may see some patchy fog forming, especially if the winds continue to lay down as they've been doing all day today. Well, you can see the clear skies covering much of the southeast United States after a rough weekend of weather. That storm system now is headed off to the northeast and continues to move toward the Atlantic. For us, this high-pressure ridge will be around on Tuesday, Wednesday, and then it gives way to this cold front you see marching down right here. This is a Wednesday at 11 o'clock, starting to move into Louisiana. Doesn't have a lot of moisture to work with, so we're not going to see the storms like we saw this weekend. This will bring us a few showers. Here's Thursday morning, starting to cloud up a little bit on Thursday, and then by Thursday afternoon, those clouds could bring a few spotty showers. The best chance for rain with that, though, is only at about 30% for some rain late to Thursday. Well, here's a look at what's going on around the nation. Some clouds and showers, some freezing rain, Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, all the way down into upstate New York. A little system here over the northern plain states bringing some snowfall there, and finally, things out west, things are starting to calm down there into California. The snowfall forecast calls for some snow fairly heavy here across the central U.S., but pretty quiet over the northeast, considering they are dealing with that nor'easter right now, but it's so warm they're getting just mainly rainfall. Winds out of the southeast at 5 to 10 knots. They'll pick up to 15 knots tomorrow in the afternoon. Seas running 2 to 3 feet with a moderate chop on the bays and inland waters. The water temperature at 69 degrees. UV index will be a 9, so sunscreen up. Tomorrow, 74 for the high of the beaches. And as far as the tides go upcoming, high tide at Sarasota Bay will be at 9:31 and a low tide at 6:07. The forecast looks like this: some patchy fog, otherwise mostly fair, seasonal, 56 for your low. And then for tomorrow, we'll have that fog burning off. Should be a nice day, mild, 75 degrees. That's nice. South winds at 5 to 10. And the extended forecast is calling for that chance for showers come late Thursday and into Friday morning. And then we have another chance for showers late Saturday and into Sunday. And then temperatures cooling down. Look at that, mid-60s for highs. Looks like winter finally arriving here. It took a while. Back to you, Scott.
Took its time for sure. Thank you, Bob. Now to Suncoast traffic watch. No crashes in the area, but we are seeing some backup on I-75. The northbound lanes from about Bee Ridge Road north on up to Fruitville, and slow beyond that point up to University as well. Haley?
Thank you, Scott. In health news tonight, if you don't get enough sleep, your brain isn't able to repair or build new pathways, and your cognitive function is impaired. Plus, your body isn't functioning as well either. Your risk goes up for obesity, high blood pressure, and heart disease. But the director of the Sleep Research Center at Loughborough University in England says the number of hours of sleep needed varies from person to person. It's not always the recommended 7 to 9 hours. He says if you're not sleepy in the day and you have fulfilling awake time, then you probably are getting enough sleep. His research shows that some people can cut down their regular sleep to about 6 hours a night plus a short nap during the day if they do it gradually. Running has long been thought to be hard on the knee joints, causing arthritis and cartilage to deteriorate. But now, a new study out of Brigham Young University shows running may actually change the biochemistry of the knee to protect it against inflammation and arthritis. In a small study of just 6 runners, researchers looked at proteins and cells in the knee fluid associated with inflammation after 30 minutes of running, sitting, or non-knee intensive exercise. They found that just half an hour of running reduced the risk factors of inflammation in knees, while sitting for half an hour actually increased the risk factors for inflammation. Exercises not heavy on the knees, such as elliptical or cycling, had no effect. Coming up, a horse in trouble. What rescuers in South Florida had to do to this animal before trying to pull it out of a deep and narrow ditch. Plus, forget waiting around floodwaters. This man is zipping through the mess in California. Those stories are straight ahead.
I'm Alan Cohn. The decline of retail stores. Macy is among several companies closing locations and cutting jobs. Find out what's driving the trend.
Tonight on ABC7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. Weeknights at 5.
Go ahead. Make a fashion statement. Demand something more than just ordinary. Capture elegance in every turn and drive with flair, where beautiful styling is standard. Stop in and take a test drive. I'll guarantee you'll never go back to plain vanilla again. The all-new 2017 Fiat 500 starting at $14,999. Only at Sunset Fiat in Sarasota.
Gold fever is at an all-time high in the Sunshine State with the new Gold Rush Doubler family of scratch-off games. Everyone is rushing to Florida to strike it doubly rich. With over $1 billion in total cash prizes, the Florida Gold Rush is on. The Florida Lottery, just imagine.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need
the Debt Ninja. If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS, you could be facing wage garnishments, levies, liens, property seizure, cancellation of business license, closure of business. The Debt Ninja fights your IRS debt. That's why you need the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja has found the best companies in the country who are on your side to fight debt. Want to learn if you qualify for the IRS Financial Hardship Program? Stop the IRS from garnishing your wages. Even if your bank account has been seized, if you have undeclared taxes, if you have existing IRS debt, it's not too late to call, so grab your phone now. Call the Debt Ninja at 800-945-0083. That's 800-945-0083. Settle your IRS debt to get the power of the Debt Ninja. Dial this number now, 800-945-0083.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
6 people are dead tonight after a helicopter crash in the mountains of central Italy. The impact smashed the helicopter to pieces in the snow. Only the tail, propellers, and the rear section are still intact. The crash took place in the same area where an avalanche buried a spa resort that killed 14 people, but the 2 incidents are not related. In South Florida, a car spooks a horse into a ditch, causing him to then get stuck. According to Miami-Dade Fire Rescue, a man was riding his 15-year-old horse called Braga down a street this morning when a car suddenly sped by and caused the horse to jump into that deep ditch. It was so deep you could barely see the horse's head, but to get the horse out, rescuers had to cover the skittish horse's eyes with a blindfold and then use a strong sling and tractor to raise him onto land. Glad to report that the horse was not hurt.
Authorities in Boston have uncovered a stash of cash, like something straight out of the show Breaking Bad. Although unlike Walter's choice of walls or crawl spaces, this was hiding inside a mattress. $20 million in cash found stuffed inside a box spring in an apartment. Authorities say the bed of money is linked to a money laundering and pyramid scheme of a company that is currently under investigation. It's a winter wonderland in Michigan, a frozen lake. It's going viral. Look at this. Wow, the ice is so clear, it makes it look like you are walking on water. An architect in the area posted pictures of the lake on Facebook. So far, it's been shared more than 60,000 times. That looks like an optical illusion. It's amazing. Wow.
It's amazing. California man is making the best of bad weather. Mark Gomez is a professional jet ski rider, and he decided to catch some waves right down his street. Heavy rains, overflowing storm drains made all this possible for him to just glide across the waters as if he was riding in the middle of the ocean. Gomez has been crowned a Moto Surf world champion multiple times. Knows what he's doing, I guess.
Right. Don't attempt this if you don't.
Oh my gosh.
Making the best of it.
I know. Yeah.
Well, still to come on your Suncoast News, a lawsuit over dredging.
Why one group is trying to stop the plan to dredge Big Pass in order to re-nourish Lido Beach.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. They're my savior. My name is Lola Silvestri. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Start the year off right with a great deal during the Start Something New event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Come drive the most awarded SUV of all time, the Jeep Grand Cherokee, or shop the area's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers. Stop by today and drive away in a new Jeep Compass for just $14,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota today.
Selling your home? Insist on a 3D showcase tour from Gulf Shores Realty. Virtual tours are flat and boring and look more like a slideshow than a tour. A 3D tour from Gulf Shores Realty is like actually walking through the home without the drive. Get instant access to your next home from any device. Multiple views give homebuyers a perspective like no other. For a limited time, mention ABC7 and Gulf Shores Realty will provide a complimentary 3D tour with your new listing.
Our goal is to do things better than anybody in the country. What makes Sarasota Memorial Hospital's program so special is that it's taking care of the patient in every aspect of cardiovascular disease. And in this community, the patients are very active. The idea is not just to get them over that operation, but to get them back to doing the things that they enjoy doing.
Come out to the best party of the season, the Goodwill Mardi Gras Gala on February 28th at Michael's on E. Tickets at experiencegoodwill.org.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.